Yo, what's good with y'all? In today's video, I got how to make grow a garden. This is, I want to say, part 5 to the series and stuff. Thank you for all the love and support y'all been showing on the series and stuff. Like I said, as long as the series keeps getting, love and support, I will continue the series and keep going. So today I got a few like bug fixes and stuff, as well as something a lot of people have been asking for. So this is data saving part 1. I'll go over everything. So a lot of people pointed out to me how I had it confused. I was confused. I thought the way it works is that you have to use your shovel to destroy every kind of plant once it's finished growing and once you collect it, but that's only like one towards like, there's like multiple growing on that one plant and stuff. So I made it so that single plants are destroyed when you collect them, they'll be destroyed. Because multiple people pointed it out to me. I made a seed amount display because someone else also pointed it out to me. So you can so pretty much what will happen is we'll create some UI, a little text label and stuff to where whenever a player equips a seed, they can see how much of the seed they have. It'll pop up a little notification here so they can see how much of the seed they have. Then I fixed the bug. No one pointed this out to me. I actually figured this out myself. I fixed a bug where I'm honestly shocked that nobody honestly pointed this out to me to be honest. But there was a bug to where like if you reset your character, you died, whatever, and stuff, you would lose your tools, like your seed tools and stuff. So I fixed it to where now it'll re-add them and stuff, right? And then I did data saving part 1. A lot of people have been asking about that. The part 1 is to indicate that this part will not cover like saving the seed beds and stuff. That will be in a later part. I don't know if that'll be part 2 or like I don't know. I'm saying I don't know if that will be in like part 6 of the series or not. But yeah, because I haven't done the saving for the actual like the grow offline portion of it, where like the seeds will be replanted in the same area, the same place, and everything. I don't know if I haven't done that as of yet. But yeah, so yeah, let's go ahead and let's get straight into it. So yeah, so part 1, data saving. This will include like shekels, the amount of seeds the player has, how much, like I said, how much money they have, as well as the plants they have as well. So pretty much everything except just their gardens. But yeah, let's go ahead and get straight into it. Let me just double check. Okay, we're good. All right, so first things first, let's go ahead and add something simple to the UI. So let's go ahead and open up Core GUI. Go ahead and insert a new frame, right? This is going to be real quick. You're just going to name this to item info frame. I'm going to name this item info frame because I might change this later to where like make it so that you can also see how much a plant weighs with this and stuff. But that's if that's something you guys are interested in stuff, which I can let me know in the comments. But yeah, so I'm gonna just make this like 125 by 100. Honestly, you don't really need much because you can set the background transparency to 1. I'm going to insert a text label into it. You're going to want to rename the text label to item text label. Here we're going to display however much of the item they have. For the seeds stuff, bold, rich text, scale the text, no text by default. I'm probably just going to do like a transparent white background with a black border. Um, and then of course text color will be black. Text stroke color, I guess there's not really a need to, yeah, I guess there's not really, or no, we could do white text stroke color, and then text stroke transparency will be set to 0, right? So boom. Once you're done with that, you can go ahead and set the frame to not visible, right? Just like everything else, or at least most of our other frames, except for the teleport one. Then now we can move on to the coding. Okay, so you can go ahead and open up our local core script. You're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom to our core event on client event. You're going to go here, you're going to add a second argument, so comma.arg2. Then you're going to go right here, enter, else if. We're going to create another event. You're going to say info, so this is for what we just made with the UI, so enter. So first we're going to have the name of the seed, which will be argument number 1. Then we will have the amount, however much the player has of said seed, so argument 2. So then we will say core GUI.item info frame dot item text label dot text is equal to seed name dot 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 quotation marks colon space go on the outside dot 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 seed amount. You guys can format the message in whatever way you want, though, of course. It's completely up to y'all. But then core GUI.item info frame dot visible is equal to true, right? Then we will do task.wait 5 seconds. You can set the time to whatever you want it to be. And then after that, we'll just say core GUI.item info frame dot visible is equal to false. So it'll just disappear, right? So then we're literally like we're done with that part. We can move on to the server scripts. Most of our changes will be here. There is a lot to do here. Okay, so we're gonna need to make a couple of variables up here. Before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure everyone has their data store services enabled and stuff, or API services, I should say, and stuff, because I know some of y'all are new. So simply click home at the top. Oh, my bad. Click home at the. Oh, I just realized the thing. There we go. So click home at the top, right? Click game settings. You're gonna go to, I think it's not permissions, security. Yeah, security. So you're gonna go to enable studio access to API services, right? You're gonna enable, it should say enable studio access to game services such as data stores. You want to make sure that this is green enabled, and make sure you press save and you publish, right? The data stores will not work. Data saving will not work if you don't have that enabled. Okay, so yeah, so it will give you an error message if you don't have that enabled. So once you've done that, you're gonna go right here, press enter, right? We're gonna create a variable for our data store service. So for short, DSS will be equal to game get service data store service, right? Then after that, you're going to go ahead and get a whole bunch of data stores. So enter. So then we're going to say we need 3 data stores. One for our stats data store. At the moment, the only stat we have is shekels, but that could change. So we're just going to name it stats data store, right? Then we're going to have a data store for seeds and another data store for plants and stuff. We need to break it up into multiple data stores because we don't know how much, like, there's not going to be a set amount, right? So we can't predict how much a player is going to have and stuff. So like it'd be too much to put all in one data store. So it's just best to break it up. That's honestly how I should have did things for my other series and stuff, for my other game series and stuff. But yeah, so let's go ahead and let's name this stats data store is equal to DSS get to data store. Just do the same name. Now, a lot of people, for some reason, seem to forget that capitalization is important. Make sure that exactly as I type it is exactly how as you type it, unless you know what you're doing, because a lot of people like to go and capitalize certain things, not capitalize other things, just exactly as you see it, okay? So then once you have that, you can just copy that, enter twice, then just paste Control plus V, and then just get rid of the spaces. Right. Then for our second one, this is going to be our seed data store. So we'll keep track of how many seeds the player currently has. So Control C, Control V, and then go right here, and then we plant data store, Control C, Control V. Boom, right? So we created our data stores, right? Now we're gonna come down here, and then after the whole garden thing, actually something I actually wanted to kind of actually, do I feel like yeah, I don't know if I feel like doing that. As a, mm, do I feel like doing that? Nah, I don't actually. Anyway, so we're gonna go after this for I loop. So you're just gonna skip 2 ends, right? So you're then going to add an event. You're gonna say player dot character added connect function in parentheses put character enter, right? Then you're gonna say for I comma v in pairs. You're gonna say seed inventory get children enter, right? Then you can just go down here to buy, and then you're just gonna find your seed tool. Remember, the value already exists and stuff. This is for when a player dies and stuff. So the value still exists inside of your inventory. We just need the tool. So you're gonna go to the buy event, get the seed tool, copy that code, paste that, and then all you're gonna do is just change this to seed name will be v.name, and then that's literally just it for that function. Then you go after the 2 ends, and then we need to create a key, right? So let's create a variable key. So the key, this is what will store like the ID that is associated with a player's data. Here's how you'll store player's data. So we'll say is equal to player.user ID. Now you guys can choose what you want to do. I highly recommend you just use a player's user ID because the player cannot change the user ID. Do not use their username because a person can change the username. Don't use their display name because a person can change the display name. Like, it's just best to use their user ID. It's unique. Only that one player can have it, and yeah, they can change the username, but the user ID will remain the same. So I recommend y'all just use their user ID. So then we're going to set up a protected call function. We're going to say local success, comma, error message is equal to pcall function in parentheses, close parentheses, enter. Then you're going to create variables for all of our data if the player has any. So we'll say stats data is equal to stats data store get async. Then you're going to throw the key in there, right? Then create a second one for seed. So seed data is equal to seed data store. get async key. And then lastly, do it for our plant data, which is equal to plant data store, get async key, right? Then you're going to use some if statements. So we need to check to make sure that the player has data, because if they don't have data, then we just don't want anything to load. So we'll say if stats data. So boom, enter, because they could have one set of data but not have another set and stuff, which I guess, well, actually, I don't know if that's possible really, because even if you have nothing, I think it would still say that you have nothing. But regardless, we'll say if stats data. So if they have any stats data, that means we can set shekels data value equal to stats data regular bracket 1, because it'll be the first value in the data in the table. Then after that, we need to set up seed data. So we will say if seed data. So if the player has any seed data, right? Then we need to use a for I loop to iterate through it. We will say for I comma v in pairs. In parentheses, you will put seed data, right? Then enter. Then you will say if I modulus operator or percent sign, whatever you wanna call it, right? You will say that 2 is equal to 0, enter, and then put continue. So to explain what this is pretty much kind of a lot of people don't know this. To be honest, I didn't learn this until like a few months ago, or no, like a year ago in school. But pretty much what this means is that this is the modulus operator. This means remainder and stuff, right? So it's going to do division and stuff. So pretty much it's going to divide whatever I is by 2, and then this will give you the remainder of it and stuff, right? So the people who aren't that good at math, pretty much what this means is this is gonna return a remainder, right? If your remainder is 0, that means like it was an even number. Because if it's divisible by 2, then that means it's an even number, you know? Because 3 divided by 2, your remainder isn't going to be 0, but 4 divided by 2, your remainder will be 0 and stuff, right? So we want to skip every other iteration and stuff. The reason why I want to, because I feel like it's important for people to know this and stuff, but it may be kind of confusing. So here's how it's going to work, right? We're going to save the name and then the value, right? So think about it like this, right? You have like a table, right? The first value is the name. The second value is the amounts. The amount. That's the best way to put it, right? So we would have, you don't have to write this, by the way. I just want to explain this and stuff. If you don't care for the explanation, you can skip past this, but I'm trying to teach people. So you can have the name of the seed. So let's say the name of the seed is carrot, right? Let's say carrot. Then I need the amount, right? Well, let's say I have 23 carrot seeds, right? So these are going to be stored individually. This will be the first value. This will be the second value, right? So here's the problem, right? We need to be able to skip every other iteration. The reason and stuff is because we're using these two pieces of information to create one new plant, or sorry, not plant, seed, right? Because we have the name of the seed and the amount, right? Because the problem is, if we don't do this, what's going to happen is it's going to create an instance of carrot, then it's going to do the same thing for 23. I don't know if that really makes sense and stuff, but the point is we just need to skip every other one. I don't think I explained that right, or not right, but I don't think I explained that good enough. But the point is, right, this is 1, this is 2, because it goes name, amount, name, amount, name, amount, name, amount. So like 1, 2, so 1 will be name, 2 will be the amount, 3 will be name, 4 will be amount, 5, you get it? Like odd numbers will be the name, even numbers will be the amount. So yeah, so that's why we need to do that. And then continue means it'll skip to the next iteration. So yeah. Anyway, so then you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna use our seed code, which we can actually just go down here and just copy and paste. So you can just go down here again, just get this time get the seed and the seed tool code. So copy, go back, paste. Now we have our seed. So same thing, only difference is changing the name, seed data, regular bracket, I and stuff, right? Just to be clarified, I is a number, right? So I will be the number. I is a number and stuff, just so y'all know. Right, so the way this will start at 1, because keep in mind, odd numbers, this is odd numbers, right? Remember, names are odd numbers. Values will be even numbers. So then what we need to do is we need to go here, we need to say seed data, regular bracket I plus 1, right? And then because we have this will always be an odd number, this will be an even number. The way it's going to work is it'll start at 1, right? 1 divided by 2 will not have a remainder of 0, right? So what it'll do is it'll proceed. The name will be the first value. Then this will be 1 plus 1, so 2. right? And then the value will be the second value. Then it'll, go to 2. It'll be like, okay, that's divisible by 2 and it has a remainder of 0, so we skip it, and then it'll just go on and so forth and stuff. So I hope I explained that to where people can understand. But anyway, we have our seed tool, right? You're going to say name is equal to seed, not seed, or sorry, not seed data, seed dot name, right? Then player dot backpack, right? And then we're also going to add this later on stuff, but yeah. So after that, you're then going to say seed tool dot equipped connect function, close parentheses, enter. Then you will get the seed amount, which is equal to player dot seed inventory, regular bracket, seed dot name, go on the outside, dot value. Then you will fire the mode event, core event, fire client singular to that specific player, comma, quotation marks, put info, name of the event, comma, seed tool dot name, right, comma, seed amount, right. So you send over how much the player currently has. Then you will skip 3 ends, and then we will do the exact same thing. So you can really just copy and paste this whole part. So we just all the C data stuff we just did. We're just going to do the same thing essentially. So now we're going to go right here. We're going to switch this to make sure you switch everything because I see people make this mistake all the time. So plan data, Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V. Okay, so we switched it all to plant data. Then the same logic applies here. For plants, it'll be the name of the plant. Then for the second value, it'll be how much it weighs and stuff, right? So we're plant data. So this, we need a plant tool and then our plant value. So we're just going to, you can really just go down here. This time you're going to go to, wait, where's the, where's like the plant? Where's the planting stuff? Oh, I remember. Okay. Open up the module script. That's where it is. Yes, it's just open up the module script, right? And then you're gonna go here. This is where you're gonna get your stuff. You're gonna steal this code. Oh, my bad. So the plant tool and the plant value. Copy that. Go back to the server script. Then you're just gonna overwrite. You're gonna overwrite right here. Yeah, all this. So the last end up to here. So delete that. Paste. And then boom, now we have our plant tool. We have all the stuff. So for plant tool, the name will be equal to, just like we did, plant data, regular bracket, I, right? Then we go down here for our plant value. Then this will be, same thing, plant data, I, then plant value dot value and stuff. We already have the weight memorized, so we'll say I plus 1, so same thing. Same logic applies. Then player dot plant inventory. Wait, what? Oh, my bad. I forgot the plant data on the outside. So there we go. Plant data I plus 1, and then we are okay. We are good. But yeah, so you'll just have that there. Huh? I don't know why it sent me all the way down, but anyway, so plant data I plus 1, right? So we have that. I'm just making sure everything looks good because we're doing a lot of copying and pasting. So I just want to make sure everything looks good. Okay, so we should be good with that. So then you're going to go ahead. You're going to skip 3 ends. You're going to use a while not success. Then do enter. There you go. So the reason for this while loop is to ensure that if the data retrieval process fails, it'll continue to keep trying and stuff, assuming the player has data to load and stuff, right? Because data retrieval can fail, especially like in a big game and stuff, right? So we need to have measures in place to ensure that player's data does load. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go up here into the entire protected call function. You're just gonna copy everything inside. So from stats data all the way to the bottom. Now I'm trying to think actually, because how much of it? So that's the if statement. That's the if statements, and then that's the for. Okay, so then you're just gonna go down to the second end. Yeah, you're just gonna go down to the second end. So copy. You're just gonna grab all that inside. Yeah. So just ignore the end with a parenthesis at the right parenthesis at the end. Then go inside the while not success do. Paste. Boom. Then space. Then you're gonna need to add a test that way because it is a while loop. So you can just do 3 seconds, but the duration is up to you guys and stuff. I'm just gonna put a task that way 3 seconds, so it'll continue to keep trying and stuff. Just in the event that It is not successful. Okay, so we have now made data loading. We need to do actual data saving. That was just the data loading and stuff, right? And I promise data saving is actually, ironically, data saving is it's a lot easier, requires a lot less work than data loading and stuff. So we're gonna go ahead. You're just gonna go after. So remember, these variables are gonna go before them, after the entire player data add function. So after that entire gigantic, because now it's just a gigantic function. So now you're gonna say game.players.player removing. So when a player is leaving, connect function in parentheses, put PLR register for the player who left. Enter. Now, same thing with the key. So key is equal to player.user ID. Of course, this has to be consistent. Do not have, I repeat, do not have two different things here. Do not have this be one thing and this be a different thing and stuff. Obviously, make these the same thing and stuff. It makes no sense to try to like, you know, it's like using, you know what I'm saying? Like that's like using your school ID to get in somewhere, to get into one place, and then trying to use your driver license ID to get into another place. Like, or using the ID numbers, I should say. Except for technically your IDs are the same, but your ID numbers and stuff. So same thing with the protector call. So local success, comma, error message. So the same drill as we did before is equal to pcall function, close parentheses, enter, right? And then you're going to create data tables. So stats data table is equal to special brackets. Then create a seed data table, again equal to special brackets, then plant data table is just equal to special brackets, right? After that, you're going to say table.insert. So this is very simple for the first one. So stats data table, comma, player dot leader stats dot shekels dot value. So we've added the shekels, right? So now we've saved money. So now we need to save seeds and plants. So we're going to say for I comma v in pairs. Then you're going to say player dot seed inventory, right? Get children. We're going to save all the seeds. So parentheses, go on the outside, enter. Then you're going to say table dot insert, right? You're going to say seed data table, comma, make sure it's going into the right data table, by the way. So v dot name. So the name of the seed, then follow up with table dot insert seed data table, comma, v dot value. So how many seeds do you have, or how much of that seed do you have, right? Then you can pretty much just copy and paste that for I loop. So just copy and go after, paste, and then this time you're just going to do plant inventory, and then obviously you're just going to change this to plant data table, control C, control V, then same thing applies, the name of the plant and then how much it weighs, right? Then after the for I loop, put some space, then you're just going to say stats data store, or not data table, so store set async, right? You're going to put your key, comma, then you're going to add the stats data table. Then you're going to do the same thing. So seed data store set async key seed data table. Then plant data store set async key. And then you're going to put the plant data table, right? That's simple. And then just like that, we're done. Then you're going to skip that one end. And then you're going to say while not success, enter. So same thing as before. You're just going to copy everything inside of the protector call function just like we did before. So you're going to copy that, you're going to paste that, then after that you're going to skip a line, then just do task that wait 3 seconds. Again, put however much time you want to wait for, that's up to y'all, right? Then we're going to scroll down. I believe this is the last change. You're just going to go, I think it's actually right. Yeah, it's actually right here. So you're going to go find the seed tool, right? Yeah, you're going to go find the seed tool right here in the buy event. So this is actually just the same code. We can actually just save ourselves some time here. Go up to this part right here. You guys recall how we did this for the info stuff? Just copy that. Literally just copy that entire thing and then just go down here. Just go down here and then just paste that right there for the seed tool, right? Boom. And so this is so that whenever a player buys it, it'll automatically work. But that is for when the player dies and like respawns. So just like that, we're done with the server script. We're actually almost done altogether. So then you're gonna go to the core module. Literally one thing to do here. Just skip a line. All we have to do is this is all y'all had to do. Because a lot of people were complaining about this. All you guys have to do is just do seed, destroy. In the collect plant function, all you have to do is just destroy the seed once you were done, which will destroy the which should wait, that is destroy the original thing, right? Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't like left over or anything. Yeah, okay. So yeah, because wait, let me actually hold on. Let me check. Let me just double check. Where's the destroy function? want to just confirm that when you destroy the parts times. Let's see. All right. Okay, I think that's it, but I'll double check that. Okay, so let's go ahead and publish and let's go ahead and test to make sure this works. As always, if you guys want access to any one of my scripts or models, you can just read the description to find out more about that. Okay, so stats data. Oh, I think the reason why that's happening honestly is because I think that's because I tested before and stuff. Oh, probably also because I've used that same data store name, so that's probably why. So just ignore it. So just ignore what's going on in my output. Okay, so first things first. Yeah, that's probably why I have 0 shekels now that I think about it. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to give myself some shekels, so I'm gonna switch to the server side. You guys probably don't have to do this, since you probably already have shekels and stuff. So if you have shekels, all you need to do is just go buy stuff. So I'm just gonna go here. I'm gonna buy some seeds, right? So boom. So keep track of how much shekels I have. I have 40 shekels. I have 1 carrot seed and 1 strawberry seed. So let me go ahead and press stop. And then you probably notice a slight delay with loading in and but more so leaving, right? And then boom, I come back, I have a carrot seed, strawberry seed, and 40 shekels. And then as you can see, the values are inside of the seed inventory and stuff. As for plants, and then as you can see now, it tells me how many of the said seed I have when I equip it for a few seconds, right? Now, if I go ahead and go plant them, you will see once the plant is finished growing and stuff, right? I will collect it, and then you can watch it be destroyed, as well as watch the fact that when I rejoin, it will automatically be inside of my inventory just like the seeds were. So it's done growing now. So collect, boom, destroyed. Right? Like I said before, if you get that error message, perfectly fine. It doesn't matter. But that reminds me, I do want to check. This is garden one. Which seed that is this? I think this is 4. Yes, it's 4. Okay, nice. Okay, so it destroyed. Okay, perfect. So yeah. So now we have the carrot and the strawberry seed, right? So now if I stop testing, like I said, that little delay, that indicates that your data is being saved. Boom. We come back, you have the carrot and stuff. Obviously, like, it changed the order, but it doesn't really matter because it's gonna come, like, when you come back, it's gonna be in a different order, obviously, because it loads seeds, then plants. But couldn't I couldn't fathom why anybody would honestly care about that. But yeah, so we have our plant with how much it weighs, and yeah, so that right there covered something that a change that people wanted for a while, something that I know a few people definitely cared about. Someone pointed out to me, and then I fixed a bug, and then we introduced the first half of our data saving stuff. So if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely leave a like and subscribe. If you guys enjoyed the video, just let me know in the comments if you enjoyed and stuff. Again, I will continue dropping more um how to make grow garden videos and stuff as long as you guys continue to show the series lots of love and support. And by the way, guys, just because I start uploading stuff for Forsaken or other series, please do not start panicking and stuff, right? Like, do not start panicking and stuff, right? Or if I don't upload a video for like two days, chill, guys. I'm just doing other stuff. Like, I will continue grow gardening. Y'all are showing it love and support. I will only stop if the series stops getting love. So yeah. But anyway, thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.